Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. We are here on July 31st, 2022. We are back again with our guest, Kenny. Welcome to the Black Butterfly Podcast. I am Amaru.
Welcome, guys. I'm Candace.
And again, Kenny's back. Would you like to introduce yourself? Like Hope was saying, that allow me to introduce myself.
Allow myself to introduce myself. I'm Kenny to the user. Okay, yes. Oh man. Well, it's good to be back on the show. Great to see the lovely faces and to be back to discuss more about Bitcoin, the crypto space, educate the family about what's going on in that space, and allow you guys to ask questions that I can hopefully answer. My name is Kenny. I am one of the co-founders of Stack. There you go, Stack. And our goal is to educate the community about the opportunities in Bitcoin and, of course, in some of the crypto spaces as well. And hopefully to start building applications and allow the family, I like to call it the family, to start building wealth in this space. It's never too late. We might have missed the .com opportunity because we were all in school and didn't know much about that, or we might have missed the operating system opportunity back in the day, but I don't think we should miss this one. So I'm here to hopefully answer your questions and get you guys going. And if you want more of our product and services, you can come and check us out, and we'll be glad to provide more services.
And this is Kenny's information right here. We're going to share it at the end of the show also. But it's just fitting that we make sure that he is accessible to any questions that you guys may have. And as you see, he is on Twitter, IG, Facebook, and is that Spotify? Look at dude. And
Spotify, we're trying, man.
And that's cool because he does have a partner too. So we want to show love to him and his platform. So we'll share your information also in the show.
We're not on TikTok because I don't want China stealing all my information. Just kidding.
And see, I didn't see it. Somebody just told me, it was my sister. They said, "Why you guys aren't on TikTok?" I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not real savvy with all this social media stuff. So she was like, they can't censor you on TikTok, and you can say what you want and blah 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 blah. So I never even when even got to experience TikTok like that. I have a profile on it, but I never even use it. It's just there. So
yeah. I got one too, but I had to cancel and delete the app because of the knowledge I know. Like, the application literally tracks everything that you do on your phone. And since the servers are not managed in the US, they basically know everything that you do with your phone. But the advantage and disadvantage of TikTok, I know we're kind of going off topic, is that TikTok allows you to throw a bunch of information at a very, very short span. Kind of like the Twitter of voice and video, which in a way is good, but I guess our type of millennial, we like to get the real information, but this new age of kids, they just want to boom boom fast, and that could kind of distort the truth or the fact sometimes. So TikTok has its advantages, it also has its disadvantages. I just don't. I don't have any issues with China. I'm just saying, China. You know.
So give me 1 second. I don't know what happened, but we're going to go with our scripture of the day. And give me 1 second. I got to get it up here.
So anyhow, about you said the kids want information really quick. So I oftentimes call them the microwave generation because they want instant gratification. There is no holding off or waiting for it. They want it immediately at their fingertips. So that's the difference between their generation and our generation.
I like that microwave generation.
They just want to put it in there, hit the button, and let it pop out.
But that's not life, man. I always, when I teach my when I teach our financial education class about finance and introductory to investing, we always say that when you plant, like, always use the concept of planting, right? And a farmer, like even modern day farming, if you do organic farming, which has some more nutrients and it's more better for your body, you plant, it takes time, and you actually also have to you know, water the plants for the plants to grow. And some of these plants take 3 to 4 months. I just harvested the peppers and peppers and the kids in the backyard that I was using to teach the kids how to plant. And they saw the whole process of planting to the peppers coming out to the peppers getting ripe enough to harvest. And I think that's what these kids these days are missing. They used to go to McDonald's and Grubhub and everything coming to them so quickly without understanding the actual real life process. Which are some of the lessons that you can also learn in the old Bitcoin process as well. Things just don't appear. It takes time, and you
Yeah, and
should work for it.
absolutely. And another thing about that, what I say, instant gratification is definitely
Hmm.
not good because they don't learn how to wait for things. They want everything to be accessible, and it also messes with their social skills. All of the
Yep.
technology that they're constantly on,
Yep.
the FaceTime, screen
Yep.
time, it doesn't teach them social skills because rather than picking up the phone and having a phone conversation, they're emailing or they're sending text messages, and you really can't read someone's message. I think
Emotion.
sometimes the
Yeah.
message get lost in translation when you're sending emails and when you're sending text messages.
I apologize about that. My mouse died, and so I
Yeah.
didn't have my cord charging it up. And so, Candace,
Okay.
could you navigate through the menu? You can go.
Um, I can. The information that we have, or do you have Kenny's information, or you can't charge it?
I'm charging it now, but Kenny, he can share it too because he has access to it, don't you?
Okay.
I am in as a guest. If you make me a manager, I could drive.
Let's
Give
see.
me 1 second. I'm out.
How did you lose charge of your system?
I just looked and said lost connection. I'm like, what?
Well, I have
Uh,
the scripture. I can go ahead and
Go ahead,
just
go ahead,
take
go
you there.
ahead.
All right. So the
preach,
scripture that
preacher.
we have today. Sorry, guys, that we don't have it listed. It is humility, and it is from Philippians 2 and 3. And basically, it is do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain consent. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. And I chose humility just because we're in the world of technology, and we just got through talking about this. Everything is instant, right? And
Mhm.
so people are definitely not humble anymore. They're more so vain because we have dopamine that's in our brain. So every click that happens on Facebook, every like that you get, every heart that you get, every caring, the caring, or every laughing face that you get, it shoots dopamine to the brain, which keeps you excited all of the time. And so I put humility on there just because when we do things, we need to make sure that we are doing things for people out of the kindness of our heart, not just because we are getting someone to kind of pat us on the back or say thank you. Just like oftentimes when people do charity events, like go out and feed the homeless. If you're going out feeding the homeless and they're on the side of the road, great thing. But we don't need to see those long and drawn out videos of someone who is suffering and you're catching them at a time when they're at their weakest point and you're videotaping it. So that's why I chose humility. Let's just do things for people just out of the kindness of our heart, and everything that you do doesn't need to be seen or publicized.
Okay, thank you. And so I now I had to plug up another mouse. So whatever, that's just technology.
It's okay,
Um,
it happens.
but with that said, we like to pivot to our guest, right, Kenny. And so uh, we had some. Well, I had some questions because and it was funny because since the last time you were on the show, right, we had this space with cryptocurrency was doing all the market was crashing, or people were like, "Oh my God, running with their hair on fire!" Like, what did I just invest in? What's going on with the market? And so yeah, I think it was fitting and perfect timing that you agreed to this date, right, to talk about what happened recently. So I would like to give the floor to you and just explain what happened recently.
Yeah. So before I jump to that topic, I want to follow up with what Candice was saying with
Go ahead.
humility. So that way it kind of flows together. Kind of like you go to church or you just go get a message and it just like I personally don't like going to church where the pastor is just like fire. If you don't do this, you go to hell. Blah blah blah. You know.
Brimstone and fire.
So let's try to bring this to our day-to-day life, right? So
Mhm.
kind of like what we're doing right now, it's also one of the process of humility where we're not really doing this for a million likes, but like giving back to our community. We all know where we came from, and we're trying to add value. So that said, one of the things that we're trying to do now is get our people involved in this new technology or this new space that could hopefully help them build wealth for generations to come. And in our last video, can you guys hear me? Is my voice good enough? Shall I get
Yeah,
closer?
I can hear you fine. Mhm.
Okay, good. In our last video, we were talking about the advantages of investing and getting involved in the crypto space, Bitcoin, and the rest of them. And during that period, a lot have happened. It's been about 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
And there's been some ups. There's been some ups and
Excuse me.
downs in the space, and I would like to show you guys what have happened over time. But one of the things that we also have to also understand is that there are different types of investors. There are those that trade, and there are those that invest. So what I have here is a technical analysis. Don't worry about the numbers. Just this is just the view of what's going on right now in the market space. And Bitcoin happens to be one of the symbols or the tickers that I track, just to make sure I know what's going on in the space. So what you have here is um, it's a trend. The two white lines that you see there, the two trends. It's a bullish continuation. It's a bullish continuation trend. How do you know what a bullish continuation trend is? This is when you have higher lows. So it was low here, but the next low wasn't as lower than this. It's higher, and then it's higher, and then it's higher. And then as you learn how to trade, if you're a trader, you might call this an upside down H, or like prices going through the channel. So it's gone up there again and it's going to come back down. But during our last few shows, I think we were somewhere around here during our last show when everything was still crashing down. And when you listen to the news, or when you pay attention to what's going on CNN or Fox News or Bloomberg, all you hear is just the noise. And this is another part of things that you have to learn as an investor. It goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show, being a farmer. When you're farming, right, there might be a storm or a rain that comes through. That's just a regular storm or rain. It might threaten your plants a little bit, make them bend over. And then you might have a real storm, which is the black swan that you never know, and you have flooding, and it might kill off all your plant or might kill off some of your plants. So that's an example that happened in the investment space as well. And Bitcoin can be seen in multiple different ways. For investors, they see it as another way to trade in assets or risk assets. For traders, it's a way to make quick money because it's very easy to track. It follows the technical analysis a lot of the times. And then there is those like me that want a revolution for our people, which is a way to change money. Because when you understand money, you understand the current money that we have now is very corrupt and it's not good, it's not clean, and that Bitcoin gives us a chance to have cleaner money. But then Bitcoin was created, but now you have a bunch of other cryptos trying to be like Bitcoin or be similar or do other functions that Bitcoin could do as well, which is why you have Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and all those other guys. I'm not saying that they're bad. They just don't create or provide the exact same value as Bitcoin does.
Question before
Yes.
before you go. So as I'm looking at this graph that you have
Yes.
here, where is the time increment? So like I see on the right is
Yes.
USD is I see that, and I believe those are dollar amounts right on the right, the USD on this axis over here on the right hand side. But
Yep.
where is the time increments? Is it okay? I see at the
Yes.
bottom the dates
So
at the
I will
bottom.
show.
So
Yeah.
this is over a month. Okay, that makes sense.
So
Okay,
I'm using the daily chart right now.
yeah,
Right. So on the daily chat, it shows you per day. So I can expand it more and it will show you more
yeah.
days. But I just wanted you guys to see. So June, July. So this is July 1st through July 11th. This is what has happened. And each candle represents a day. So the application that I'm using here is called TradingView. It's one of the best applications out there for reviewing stocks, crypto, forex, even commodities sometimes.
Okay.
But it's right here. It allows you to see the price action. So outside of just listening to the news, if somebody tell you, "Oh, Walmart is going up, go buy Walmart," don't just listen to them. Come over here, click on the screen, type Walmart. WMT is Walmart.
There we go.
Okay.
So when Walmart did their stock split, I bought some here. How did I know to buy some here? So these are the skills and technical analysis that I've learned over time. When you see this thing crossing down this way, that is bad news, right? And if you were trading, this will be a good time to play a put option because this the 20-day and 50-day crossing downward, even the price crossing below the 50-day moving average is a bearish trend. Bearish means that prices are going down, momentum is going back down. People think that the price are going to keep going down. That's what bearish means. So it keeps going down. So I bought some there. Because I was telling Amara earlier that I don't have the mindset of a trader, and I need to get better at that. Everybody have their own little style. Um, I could have also played the put on Walmart and make the money going down. And once they hit this resistance level, this is how you know it's a resistance level. The TTM is squeezing back up. It has gone below the 30 RSI. Price action also shows that it has finished. It has finished the one of the moving averages, right? So I put it here, and you can keep accumulating your Walmart as long as the price is below the red line, which is the 200-day moving average. It's a lot to learn. I can sit down and teach people how to do this. We have courses for this, where we can show you how to enter the trade. So anything below the 200 moving average, it's good for dollar cost averaging, which is accumulating buying more. And as you can see, the prices are starting to go up, right? Another crazy news happened. It dropped below again. I'll buy some more. And now the 20, it's still below the 20 and 50-day moving average is about to cross. You see all those really strong candles.
Yeah.
Um, I usually tell people that you have to now wait for this cross, this yellow and this orange line to cross for you to buy some more. Because right now, if you didn't buy it at this bottom, you'll be trying to rush to buy Walmart at the wrong time. But these are a lot of the things that people don't see when they trade. So let's get back to Bitcoin, which is the topic of the day. I just use Walmart because a lot of people know Walmart. But that's basically how we look at the trend. So let's look at Walmart. Let's look at Bitcoin. Do I need to explain what Bitcoin is again before I look at the charts? Because I think it helps a lot of
I,
people.
I probably would, just because we might have some viewers on this time that wasn't on last time.
Right. Right.
Okay. So, by the way, all the tools that I'm showing you here are also tools that you can use to make residual income if you want to make money on the side, or if you don't have a job and you have some money sitting on the side that you think you can risk and you will not lose your life over, because some people might just blow their brains off if they lose money, which is not a good thing.
Kitty, I'm done.
This is this is not funny. People have done it.
No, it's
That's the
not funny. It's not funny. We never want anyone to hurt themselves.
Absolutely
But the
not. Right.
display of information, I was caught off guard when you said that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay.
That's why we laughing. What?
Okay. No, I mean, I told you guys I've lost money. I'm just depressed for one day. It's okay.
okay.
I go back and go at it the next day. Um, but yeah, so these are all the things the tools that you can actually use to learn and make money on the side. And there are people that make millions doing this on a daily basis. This is big major money movement right here, and this up and downs are big money movement for some other people that have mastered this. I also do that, but I have a day job. I don't have time to do this all the
Right.
time. So I do swing trades. So I like, okay, this trend is gonna do this for a while. So I know it's at the bottom here. So I do a trade for it to go up here, and then I sell. But I never trade my Bitcoin. Bitcoin for me is a revolution. So I'm trying to buy Bitcoin at the lows, while it accumulates over time. But I will show you all the other stuff that I used to make money, and you guys will be like, "What, Kenny? I need to learn this." So we can get to the other crypto stuff later. So
Okay, Kenny, can I ask a question? So, for
yes,
those who are really interested in getting with you outside of the podcast, like what
yeah.
are some things that you work on individually? With do you run a class, or do you work with the people individually and teach them how to invest and also how to acquire Bitcoin?
All of the above.
Okay.
So it's a small business. We just started. You're trying to standardize the whole process, make it a product, make it a service. So that's still being built right now. But I have the course material. I have the processes for getting you on Bitcoin, getting you off the exchanges, getting you on your own, either decentralized or centralized exchanges so that you can start trading or actually acquiring your own Bitcoin. All of that stuff I have is ready to go. It's just
Okay.
not, how you go to a school and you have, what's it called? Uh, any teachers in the house? What is it called? Curriculum. Yeah, when you have a full standardized curriculum. Um,
Okay.
I don't have my full curriculum yet, but it's there. It's ready. I
Okay.
have a OneNote with days and days and days of talking material. Yeah.
I got a
Okay.
question. So I'm looking at your boxes on this screen, right? And so I see win, loss, and it's saying profitability 58%. Now, is that
Yes.
your total portfolio, or is that just individual stocks that is, that's describing?
All right. So what you have here are some of the indicators for this specific coin, which is Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what you have here is the breakout probability, right? So what are the probability that the price over here at the current price will give you a winning? Like if you got in at this point and you're trying to go for a call, what are the chances that you'll make profits? 29%. This range, this range, this range, this range. Fact that it will go down is 54%, 36. So it's more of a bearish right now. And it's actually, this is accurate because if you look at the candles, this is something else that you also have to learn. Can we zoom in? If you take us out and you just click the far right one, you can just focus on the current view. We can just disappear for a little bit. That's a far right view.
Oh, ooh, you asking the wrong person. My computer's real touchy. Hang on a second. Let me see.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So people should be able to see it now. So the probability of you making money of it going down towards these ranges is 54%, 36%, and onward. And it going up within these price ranges are also all of the above. So those are the probabilities for Bitcoin. And another thing that I will teach you if you were to take a class with me was those candles. Those candles shows you they are different. There are two different type of traders: a bullish trader and a bearish trader. A bullish trader wants the price to go up, and a bearish trader wants the price to go down because that's how they make money. And as you can see here, when it's red and you see the price action goes down, that means the bearish traders are winning. And at this point, the last three candles in the last 3 days have been the bears winning.
Oh
So
wow.
now,
Okay. Okay.
so that means that this probability is right because if you look
Okay.
at the probability is that yes, they're going to continue to win. And if you look at this trend line, it comes down and it goes up. The trend's going to comes
Yeah.
go. So it looks like it wants to repeat that trend line where it's going to come down, right? And will likely stop at this resistance level here because in the past this has been a previous resistance. So it might come here. That will be on higher low. So the price will come back down again. Or since this is a 50-day moving average, which is a very, very strong resistance level, if the price stays above that, this will be the last low and it's going to come back up.
Mm.
But this is all
Okay.
lessons that you learn over time. You have to take the baby steps of understanding number one, the candles, understanding the moving averages. So you start adding it up, almost like learning your one, two, threes, and then eventually understanding that 1 plus 1 is 2. Then understanding that 1 times 1 is 1. So those are all the basics that you're gonna have to understand to easily understand what's going on here. And as you can see, the probability of it going down is high. This is already giving me an RSI signal that is going down. I have a TTM squeeze that is squeezing downwards as well. So this is all bearish. So there's a probability that Bitcoin is going to go down or hold at this current resistance level at this current time. So if you're a bearish trader, you probably want to trade that downwards. So you buy a put or you buy a futures trade that trades Bitcoin downwards, or Bitcoin shorts.
Okay.
Right. So that's what Bitcoin it looks like if you were trading it. But I'm not a Bitcoin trader. But you can also use this to buy Bitcoin at the lows. So the current low, this could be a good current low. So accumulating at the lows would be a good thing for you if you're trying to accumulate Bitcoin, so that you're not always buying at the top and feeling sad about your investment.
Penny, I had a text too. Somebody said, one of our audience members said, "Can you turn your mic up a little bit? Because you couldn't hear you a little bit."
Okay, all right. So this is my voicemail right here, guys. This is some of my gearbox here. Let me see
Look
what's
at his
going on
toys.
here.
He's just showing off his toys here.
Stop it! Stop it!
And so
All
while
right.
you're turning it up, so my question to you is then, so learning this process and these tools and these concepts, this is not uh, a overnight thing, right? It took you time, let's say 6 months, 3 months, 6 months to learn trends, to learn jargon, to learn these concepts to do this stuff, right?
Yeah. So, uh, you can bring us back on the screen because we can always come back to this. I will show you guys. This is gonna be the far left one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. So to learn all of this, it cost me $8,000. I spent $8,000 for the course to learn all of this. And then after that, you don't end there. Because as you all know, we go to school to learn.
Yeah.
But wealth is built outside of school. It's built by yourself. So everything I'm learning to do on TradingView, even though I learned on TOS, Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, I transferred all of that to TradingView. And then now I learned TradingView and watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I met a couple of people. They educated me in a bunch of stuff. And then I continued to educate myself, and now I am able to teach other people as well, and then also build wealth with the knowledge that I have as well. So, good question, because when you look at this chart, there's a lot of information, but there's another simple chart that we've also built. Here are a bunch of indicators that we've put together, and there's one that we call the 37 and 100-day moving average. We learned this from a millionaire that we met during the Bitcoin conference this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy literally said, Kenny, do not stress. You can think you're making money trading, but those that really make money over the long term. So this guy has this theory, right? Like he said, you know what? I just put $1 million at a point on any trade that I want to do, and I just wait for that flow to happen. So what this guy does is this. This is called the 37 100-day moving average. So there is 37, which is yellow, which you see there. And then you have the 100-day, which is green. And all the guy said is this. Just wait for those crosses to happen. And each time those crosses happen, the trend is a lot more visual. It's much more vivid. It's much more pronounced. So if 37 crosses the 100-day downwards, trend stays downwards. So this guy literally just shuts the market when it trends downward. Put a bunch of money at it, multiplies money, and then decide its exit point. So you can decide that your exit point is 10%. So this is the arrow, as you can see. If you decided that its exit point was 30%, 38%, that's it right there. It's getting out at 38, but you need to know what your exit point is. If it was getting out at 10, it would have probably getting out here. But when it crosses over, right? It crosses over here, but it wasn't strong enough. Would you have gotten in it here when it crosses back up? No. Why? Because you want a few candles to open and show bullish candles. Not just one candle, a couple of candles. So it crossed here to become bullish, a little bit delayed. But when it did cross, if you got in a little bit too early here, which is kind of what is happening here, you will have gotten screwed up if you're trying to trade early, right? Because it hasn't crossed yet. And then the prices went up. You need it to cross entirely and show strong green candles for you to enter. So here, people are like, oh, we're about to enter a bullish market. Market's about to get popping up. No, relax, calm down. It might be a good time for you to start accumulating if we think that all the macroeconomics or the drama going around the world is going to slow down and we're about to have a bullish market. You might get in early, but to enter for real, let me show you when you enter for real.
Before you keep going, how many candles would you suggest you need to see before you
a couple of days.
Okay.
A couple of days.
Okay.
Here's a good one here. A couple of days candle. It's a lot more reds and green, but it's still fighting, and then boom, it still continued up. Here's another one here. It crossed here a couple of days, a lot more green, and boom, it stayed up from $16,000 to $54,000. By the way, you can buy micro shares of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy an entire share of Bitcoin. Right. So what I'm trying to tell people now is this. we have another cross about to happen, which is another opportunity. Now, there's what they call an Elliott wave, which is another trend that you have to master. It's about the price action. And this looks like level 1 of the Elliott wave, what we have going on here. But it's now becoming a bullish continuation. So you might be entering a wave 2 or wave 3 pretty soon. If this crosses and a couple of green candles shows up, get ready for a full bull market where you can make money on the upside. So this is some of the technical analysis, and that's just the 37-day, 100-day moving average cross. And we can do this with the stock market. So if you look at Tesla, for example, right? So let's look at Tesla, for example. I'm a big Tesla investor, so allow me to be biased. Tesla. I told you guys, man. I missed out on Amazon. By the way, I'm back in on Amazon again. So
Are you?
wish me luck.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I bought the split this time around. But yeah, so Tesla has a lot of market noise. Oh, another Tesla caught fire. Somebody's guessing Tesla. Somebody's suing Tesla. Nah. Those are all market noise. Just come here and look at the numbers, because the traders and Main Street are two different worlds. If they want to, if Tesla blows up tomorrow and the traders want to trade it up, they will find a way to trade it up and to go up. But you want to know when the big money is getting in and when the big money is going out. That's another thing. That's looking at the volume. That's a lot to look at. But we're keeping it simple with this one here with the 100-day, 37-day moving average. As you can see, 37 crosses 100. 1, 2, 3 candles. Candle stays up. A couple of red.
100-day, 37-day moving average. As you can see, 37 crosses 100. 1, 2, 3 candles. Candle stays up. A couple of red. 100-day, 37-day moving average. As you can see, 37.
I think you're echoing, Ken.
1, 2, 3 candles. Candle stays up.
Yes. I did not do anything different.
Yeah, I don't know what you had an echo on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Not sure what happened there, but I think we're back to normal.
Yeah, we're back to normal. Yeah.
All right, cool. So that was that cross right there. As you can see, 37 is above 100. Make your money. Now it's up to you to decide how greedy you want to be. It did that run up. This is Tesla. I did not sell. I just held. I could have sold, but I'm not about to let another Amazon happen to me. So what I did.
I'm looking at this. That's a nice 1,002. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cross was right here at $658.
Okay.
So that's doubling your money right there.
Okay.
So what I did was I kept watching. Everybody, all the madness was going on, and this cross down what happened, right? And I bought more here.
Buy low, sell high. Yep.
And then it went up again. You could have sold there,
Yeah.
but I did not sell. I bought more here, and I bought more here, because it's below. And now it's looking like it's about to cross up. It hasn't crossed yet, and the price is already moving above. We wonder if you want to be assured that you're gonna get in, you can do that as well. But I'm a low buyer and holding up to the top. So when I eventually decide I want to sell, I will have accumulated enough through all the splits, through all the dividends, whatever it is, and then I can sell at the top. But Tesla seems to be gonna be around for a while. So there are people that buy Apple. Apple, see how similar Apple is to Tesla as well. Almost looks the same, right? There's the SPY and the NASDAQ that literally covers the entire technical stock market. And this is what I was telling you earlier, that things are looking kind of bullish. What do I call bullish? You draw a trend line from the last high and the last low, and everything seems to be facing upwards. And everybody's like, we're in a recession. Again, stock market, kind of like what happened in the COVID times. The stock market and what was actually going on in the real world were two different spaces. Some people were getting super rich, some people were losing their job and suffering. And I hope that's not the same thing that is happening now, because we're entering a recession and the stock market is about to blow upward because the trend is moving up. Now, is this going to continue? We don't know until we get this full cross. The 30-day, 37-day, and that 100-day moving average crossing over. Once it crosses over and a couple of candles stays above, then we're going bullish. So that's the stock market. in the shorts, and VIX is to just tell you the opposite is happening. So this is really good. You can also use the VIX, the market volatility, to make money. If the VIX is pointing down, that is good news for the markets. Because now, if the VIX is pointing down, as you can see here, it's crossing downwards,
Yeah.
right? If it stays down, that means the stock market is about to start going up. But when
Mm.
it crosses upwards, um, market's about to crash.
So it has an inverse relationship, basically.
Yes, very,
Okay.
very inverse. That's what the
Okay.
VIX tells you.
Okay.
So these are a bunch of other indexes that we watch to see what's going on in this market. This is the bond. This is the 10-year bond. This is also really good for those of us that invest. So people, when you get really rich, which we all hope to get to one day, right? And I think in the early days of business school, they're like, oh, 60-40, why 60% is stocks and 40% is bonds. It's a way for, it's called wealth preservation strategy, where no matter what happened to the stock market, if stock market crashes, at least you have 40% in bonds that will always yield you some kind of profit. My concern with the bonds is that bonds does not catch up to inflation. So right now we have inflation of 9%. How the heck do you say you're gonna give me a 2.6% interest rate on my money when interest rate is 10%? I'm still losing. So during this whole market crash, people were putting their money in bonds because they were able to get at least some money back without losing money. So instead of you losing 70-80% of your money in the stock market, you go pack it in the bonds, and even though it's not catching up with inflation, you can still make some money over it. And this is the interest rate that you were making, to the point that people were making at least 3% on the 10-year bonds for a while. But now this is dropping. This is also good for stocks because that means investors are moving their money out of bonds back into the stock market. So what you want is for the interest rates on bonds to go back down, so that investors will be like, this is not making me money. Let me go throw my money in the stock market where I can risk and make more money, and then the stock market will go up as well. So that is where all the big money moves their money. Any questions on crypto before I overtalk? Because I can talk forever.
No, and see, this is the thing too. Well, one question I do have. So let's say when you start this process, what would be a good amount to start with? Like, let's say if you have 1,000, like would you say that would be a nice amount? Because obviously, if you lose 1,000, you got to be able to be comfortable with what you're risking, right? And so, would you say that would be a nice amount, or would it have to be 500? Would it be the range between 500 or 1,000?
So I would repeat the same thing I said the last video or the last meeting, was that don't spend 1,000 if you don't have 1,000 saved for emergency, because you're going to spend that money at the wrong time, because you will have probably picked something really good and sold it at the wrong time. Right? $500, $100, $200, $50 is enough, especially in the crypto space. Now let me show you why. Good question. So I've saved some watch list here, and during my research today, given that I see some change in market momentum, I looked at some crypto. I did some, this is what I used here. It's called crypto screener. You can also screen stocks to see which stocks are moving up. So I screened some crypto to see which ones are moving up, and I found these guys. So these are the guys that I found today.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Let's look at the change percent. So in the last 4 hours, these are the cryptos that are moving up right now. So this, as you can see right there, that's 65 cents. And as you can see, the entire market has been crashing for a while. But if we start zooming in a little bit, you can see that the trend is starting to turn around.
Yeah.
And this analysis here, this screener, also looked into the market cap, the valuation of this crypto. They're not the biggest, they're not the largest. People might not even know anything about it. As a matter of fact, I don't know 90% of these guys. But my goal is not to buy and hold. My goal is to just get in, make a quick box, get out. But I still wanted to have market cap. I still wanted to have liquidity. When I say liquidity, there's enough volume trading that I can get out when I need to get out. So I know Power, for example. Power has made me a lot of money in the past. It's decentralizing energy, so that if I had solar and my neighbor had solar, we can get that our solar and sell it to the neighbor down the street and make money with our solar. So it's a blockchain solution in South America right now that are allowing people to trade the energy that they're creating. So power is a pretty good one, and as you can see, it hasn't crossed yet, but it has tried to pop up once, came back down, popping up again, at least making an attempt to pop up again. So now let me show you a good example. Let's say you got in at this trade at this bottom and it went up this high, right? And you had $50 and you did your technical analysis very well. Everything kind of flows well. This is a ruler that I'm trying to rule to see the gain.
Yeah.
So that is what, see that right there? That little movement from 17 cents to 39 cents. That's 149%. So now, if you have $1,000, right, and again, this is what you call risk analysis or risk management. You never put an entire $1,000 on one crypto.
Right.
You have to split it up. Maximum 5, maybe 10 at one time. I usually just do 2 or 3 so I can track it. $50, 149% of $50 is what? Can we pull up our calculator? Let's just say 100% of $50. Right, so that's add an extra 100. So $50 has become $500, just like that. So this trade right here, to that level right there. So you got in on May 14th, you got out June 9th. $50 has become $500. You get out.
That's what's up.
All right. So those are all the things that you can look at, and this is while the price is still below the moving average. This is even in the bear market. This was also in the bear market right here. Power, 94% in one day, and probably would have gotten in somewhere around there. So, and there's I can even change this so that you can even see it better. Trade screener. So if I was using this view, I will know when I should enter. So that was that cross right there. I probably got an alert right there, and boom, I got in, made money. This was trending downwards, but it was below the 30-day. It was below the 30 RSI, was crossing above the 30 RSI. So even though it was bottom here, I will just say maybe I'm just buying the low, just not even trading. I bought that low here because it's below the 30-day RSI, and I know power. I know the company. So I just bought it, got out here. I made my money. So right now I should probably be looking to get in because it could do one of these big candles in the next coming days if the bullish market continues.
So basically, this is a lifestyle, basically, what you're telling us, because you got to be constantly watching this. You know, you can't, I mean, if you're not watching it, I mean, it's very volatile. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, stuff can happen within 2 or 3 days if you're not watching a ticker like that. So
it's a yes and a no. Yes, but we also have the tools that allows you to buy and sell right here within the tool. So you can connect it to your trade station, you can connect it to any of your trading applications, or you can have your other trading application and you can sell, you can set your exit or your stop losses. So I could say if it makes a 10% push, sell. And I'll only take a 10%. But, you know, this is why you got to fight your greed, where you can say, you know what, I know I got 100 in there, man. Come on, give me 100. But you could make little 10% every day. 10% every day adds up too, right? Or you could just say, I want 100%. I'm not playing around, man. If I lose my money, I lose my money. But geez, give me that 100%, which is kind of my bad habit. But yeah, that was a good entry right there. It's already, you know, still at 60%. It's not too bad, actually. It's still, you know, when it crosses 70 upwards, those are really danger zones in the RSI. You should be selling. That's overbought, which has proven itself several times. So when it crosses this 70 over here, it's dangerous. It hasn't crossed yet. So it's still a good entry point to make some money. And this is a bunch of crypto.
yes,
As you can see here. And that's momentum 1. I also did another search for momentum 2 using another set of rules. And here is, all right. I feel lucky right now, as a matter of fact. I bought this coin. I bought a couple of it somewhere down here. So right now, I haven't sold it yet. I'm not even looking at it because my average ownership is somewhere around January-ish. So I have bought some here. So I'm returning, and I did buy some here. I need to go back and look. As a matter of fact, it's not too late. And it has crossed. I should be getting out of the ones that I bought while I was down here because it has crossed the 7-day moving average and it's turning red. So it's getting overbought. But anything that you bought here, this signals here is telling you that the probability of this continuing is high.
Really?
So
Okay.
anything that you've bought at these low levels, count it all the way up here. That's a 116% gain. So somewhere in my portfolio, file is doing wonders. I need to go look though. I need to go see how much money I made. I've not looked. I'm just like,
Yeah.
there's still room for growth. The reason why is because I know file. So what is file? File is file storage. Like I would use cloud, but decentralized in the blockchain. So it's the same thing as using Microsoft Cloud, Google Cloud, and other stuff, but decentralized, where Google does not own it. It goes through a blockchain. Everything is stored in the decentralized cloud. So if it's this low now because the market crashed, imagine if it comes back to the November highs. So there's a lot of room to come back to $60, $70, and you're buying it at cents right now. Well, it's at $49. Well, it's at $10 now, and you could have bought it for $4 or $5. So you've doubled your money. So this is the market opportunity that they don't teach us in school, but I've met people in my lifetime that have been doing this since middle school and high school, but Gary school systems didn't teach us how to make money while we sleep. And we have to change that because it's not, in America, money is made not by you killing yourself. Money is made with you using your brain and letting the systems do it for you. And there are systems out there that are making people a lot of money, and we need to get along with that.
So I have a question. So you talk about the momentums. What's the difference
Yes.
between are there like different tiers?
Yes, there are different indicators that shows you momentum.
Okay.
So the TTM squeeze is a momentum. Let me show you a TTM squeeze real quick. This is a different momentum. I see go out there and it's going up there and it's going up right now and it's going up there. When it turns lighter, darker green or lighter gray is going down. Look at the price. So compare the price action to the TTM. You see the TTM is squeezing up there, and the price is going up. Price is going up.
Yeah.
So that's a momentum trader. And you could also turn on volume because you want to see where big money is throwing their money. Jeez. See that green right there? A bunch of people are buying right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are buying right now. This is when people were selling. So people were selling, so I was buying because Warren Buffett says when people are fearful, you buy more. So during the fearful times, you bought more. This is when you're supposed to be getting out. You made 100% gain. Get out. But I'm a long-term investor, so I'm not out yet. I'm not a trader.
Talk about what you talked about earlier before we got on. You talked about making money. You say you made a comment. You said I like to make money when times are bad, or something to that nature. These like unlike because you were talking about trading yourself to think differently.
Yes. So this would be a good example to show you that. So as an investor, you have to figure out who you are, your psychology, because everybody is different, right? My business partner is an in and out guy. So if he had seen this, he'll probably got out. Can you get out, man? We've made your money. Get out. I'm like, yeah. So I guess my past losses of not being able to hold longer term investment has made me a long term investor instead of a short term investor. Whereas it's a much younger millennial, so it is in out, in out, in out. The disadvantage with that is that the taxes are higher. So you have a 20% tax for long term over 365 days, and 40% tax for in and out trades. But IRS don't have time to track all that stuff. But long story short, higher taxes. So yes, to answer that question that you had before the show, so in this scenario, this is the same chart though, broken down into 3 different levels. So let me put that was file, FIL. So this is file broken down into 3 different views. So this on this side is the 1 day, on this side is the 4-hour charts, on this side is the 1-hour chart.
Okay.
Right? 1 day and 4 hours. Sometimes it's all you need. Before you enter a trade, it helps to look at it from different time frames so that there is no error. If you look on the 1 day, my signal is saying buy. On the 4 hour, my signal is saying buy. On the 1 day, it's saying buy. What I have here is my TTM squeeze. It has gone parabolic. Anything that crosses 1 and does this, my friend, if you're a trader, please take your profit and go home, because that thing is coming back down. How do you know it's coming back down? Boom. See that red dot right there? The trend line says that it has reached its max.
That's the 4 hours.
As you can see, it's starting on the 4-hour chart, right? It's starting to get shaky.
Yeah.
It got to that red and it's like, no, bro, I'm done. By tomorrow, this thing will have come back down. Unless there's something I don't know. Maybe someone is pumping it out there and it crosses that red. But on the 4 hour, it's fighting a major resistance right now. That's why it's stuck at $10.27.
Okay. I have another question too. So me and my wife, we were on to a comedy show last night in Madison, and she was talking about what happened with GameStop. And can you further elaborate on that? Because I was explaining it to her, but she wasn't comprehending how I was explaining it to her. But she had questions too, but basically inside trading, people bought stock, right? And then it was all over the news and everything like that. And I guess they took it back. So explain what happened.
All right, this is when the trouble started. I want to move it back to when the trouble started. We're gonna zoom back in a little bit, but I just want to move it back to when the trouble started. So there are hedge funds out there, people with big money, that can just wake up one day and say, I want to go buy a Lambo, and it's right there in their garage, that trade the markets just like you and I trade markets, but they have money to move the prices up. So what they saw was that GameStop has been dying for a while. It wasn't doing anything. So the markets, like I said, and the main and Main Streets are 2 different things. So they said GameStop is dead. So they were going to trade it down so it becomes 0. But here comes this group of guys in Wall Street Bets, just like we are chatting now. We can decide to create our own little group and start looking at stocks that we want to trade upwards. So they're like, hey, these guys think that this thing is going to go down. I love to game. Who the hell does he think he is? You're not going to kill GameStop like you killed, what's that movie place that we used to watch? Blockbuster. All right. So no, you're not going to do that. So they started buying the stock against their bets for it going down. And guess what? The price did not go down because people kept buying. So now they now have to cover their shorts because they said, by January 2021, the price was going to go down. And guess what? The price never went down. So now they have to start covering their losses by selling theirs. So now prices just started going up and started going up and started going up. It's showing 120 now, but because they did the stock split, that's why it's 120. But this sucker was going up to like $300, $400 at one point. But because of the stock split, that's why it's showing 120. This is just an average. So they pushed the price down, and then people that made their money, push the price back down. So this is now when the fall and the noise in the market start coming up. Oh, the company is dead. The company is doing this. People get out of your stock. The old situation is there. So people started selling. So this is all the noise, people selling, buying back in, selling back in. And then, of course, the crash that we saw coming in October, November brought it down and brought it down some more. But I have to say, though, GameStop has been holding up pretty well. So one of the ones that I'm holding on to right now is crossing, actually. It's crossing the, each time it crosses, it's not maintained. The 37,100 moving average pretty well. These are all times to either trade it down, and this was a good trade up, trade down if you look at the detailed charts. So right now, it's not a good buy. It's not a good time. If I'm looking at the detailed charts, which is trade screener, because I want to screen when to buy. See that right there? Told you to buy. You got in, made that move. So right now, I'm waiting for another opportunity to buy. This is not a good time to buy because it's trading downwards. Um, but if you're a gamer and you believe in GameStop, you want to wait for one of those lows so you can get an opportunity. Those are 3 good candles, and the price is currently above the 20-day moving average. It's also above the 50-day moving average, and the price is also above the 100-day moving average, which is good. So this could continue and stop here if the bullish market continues, or it could stop here as well because those are previous areas where it has stopped. So GameStop is still a good buy even though the noise is down. As a matter of fact, I am looking at AMC as well because this is not crypto, but it's quite related because those two accept Dogecoin and Shiba Inus. I think they also accept Bitcoin. So that was a cross right there. The price has gone below the 20 and 50 days. So I won't be buying right now. I'll be waiting for that indicator to show it's good time to buy. So AMC is dropping back down again. But as you can see, it's come up. This was the big money that I missed. You know, we all have our wins and losses. I didn't even know what was going on with Wall Street bets. All I saw was, hey, this is a good time to buy, and I bought it, and it went up. So I'm waiting for another good time to buy some more. I'm just accumulating, or maybe I will just eventually get out and find something that is less noise, and I can still make money with. But yeah, that's basically what's going on with that.
And then the interesting thing about GameStop before we pivot is they have, this is video game season, right? So I don't know if people know this. They come out every year with John Madden football. It comes out in August. And then the NBA 2K game comes out in September. And so I think one of the reasons why they're probably plummeting a little bit because of COVID. Because when you had COVID, people were not going in the store buying the merchandise. They were buying it online. So they don't have anything online you can purchase. You can purchase it from their online site, but you can purchase also the video games from the actual Xbox and the PS5 venues too. So that's played a part in that. And so with this August and September rolling around and some other releases that always happen around that time of the year, that actually is going to go up. I'm pretty sure that's because when you buy video games, what else do you buy? You buy controllers, boards, you buy consoles. So and that is going to determine the behavior of those services. Stocks. Yeah. Yes. So that's why that's very interesting that happened with that. But we thank you for your time, Mr. Awusika. We want to be respectful of your time, obviously, because we know you have personal situations going on. And he said, wait, nothing personal like that. But his wife is
the kids, man.
Yeah, so he got the kids, and so there you go. I'm not gonna repeat what you said, but he said something. I said, "Oh my
God." Should I tell the world what I said?
Yeah, tell him.
It's very simple. I think raising kids it's not for men. We try. I just don't think we're good at it.
Did you see our podcast when I was talking about how men, you asked them, hey, what are you guys up to? And they said, oh, I'm babysitting. And I said, you can't babysit your own kids. You're not one of those, are you?
I'm not saying that I don't enjoy watching the kids. I just think that the level of patience, I don't know. It's just every little thing just is like, why are you doing that? Why are you really?
And that's why I always talk about, stay-at-home moms or housewives. A lot of people think that it's easy work, but it's not. It's an actual job. It's a lot in raising kids. So
I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing with that a single bit.
And so we appreciate single-parent households, single mothers and fathers who have those situations going on. We appreciate you because the upcoming this week, my wife is commuting to South Carolina, so me and Kenny, we ain't gonna be in the same boat, but I'm gonna have a little help. My mother's coming up from Indiana to help me with the kids for a couple of days. So I will be expressing the same sentiments in a couple days that men should not be raising kids by themselves, because my patience is really, really thin.
And guess what? You guys are talking about patience. You know, when they said great minds think alike, that's actually our word of the day.
And let's pivot a little bit. But before we pivot, thank you, Kenny, for your time. This was very valuable information. We will share something you wanted us to share. We talked about it earlier. Let me get to it real quick. And this is Kenny's information right here. Go ahead, Kenny. If you had any closing remarks, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's me and my business partner, Brazen. You can reach us at Stack. On YouTube, StackFin on Twitter, StackFin on Facebook, Stack Finance, StackFin on Instagram, and Stack on Spotify or Anchor, if you want to call it. And of course, when you check us out, please like and subscribe. Check us out. Leave us a message. Link up with us through that so that we can get you all set up. We do have a website coming up. We're trying to make it a little bit more fancier. It's stackfin.com, but it's a work in progress. It's not ready for prime time yet. No, nowadays everything is done online, so
yeah,
it's done socially, not on websites. So we've not put too much energy on that.
I love the picture too. The picture you guys see, Kenny. He looks stress free. He looked kid free on that picture too. Let's see it one more time. You see the right there?
That's a nice job. Did you create your own flyer, Ken?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Well, I just want to tell you thank you very much for the information. It was very informative. I think a lot of people can benefit from it. And I also like the way that you talked about, you know, if you're earning income and you want that residual, that passive income, that you have to be patient. You just can't, you know, invest and think it's going to, you're going to see percentages the next day. You have to kind of be patient and wait a while to see if those numbers are going to go up. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You were saying something about the word of the day, which is great minds think alike. So if
no, I said great minds do think alike, and the word of the day is patience.
Oh,
so patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delayed trouble or suffering without getting angry or upset. And so I chose the word of the day to be patience, because oftentimes we work towards a goal and we feel like if we ask 100 people and 100 people say no, that we're not going to accomplish our goal. But delayed does not mean denied. So I just want people to remember that.
And the Swahili, before you go, the Swahili translation for the subira. So it's subira. Go ahead,
subira.
I don't know what's wrong with him. We didn't turn you out. Like, we didn't turn you all the way out. I would like to pivot a little bit to our Black Entrepreneur today. And this was just last minute. So I spoke about earlier going to a comedy show in Madison, Wisconsin last night with my wife. And it was one of my friends. I've been knowing this brother since I was in middle school. I used to live here a little while ago. Before I moved to Etna, that's where I lived in, and he was my best friend in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it's a really crazy story. Like the girl, so it was 4 of us that hung together. Me, Antoine, Kenya, her name was Kenya, Carmika, and this guy named Mark. And so I knew them for 1 year, right? I moved back to Gary and lost touch with them. And so when I get married to my wife, I'm talking to my wife, who walks into the wedding is Kenya, right? Who happened to be my wife's best friend in college. Small world, right? And so got on Facebook, whatever, with the podcast, and I looked, and he's a comedian, the guy I was best friends with. And they used to call me, because my nose just run all the time, they just call me Roscoe from Martin, right? And
oh man,
played on the basketball team. They used to call me Rodman because I got all the rebounds and stuff. And so I went to go see him last night, and he's very, very talented brother. Madison loves him. They showed him so much love. The comedians were fire. He had a poet do his thing at jump the show off. So it was very, 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 very nice. And so I want to give him his flowers because he works very hard. Professional setting. You can order food while you're there. it was pretty cool to see. So I wanted to give him a shout out, and that's his contact information. If you are in the Madison area, he does it once a month, which is very convenient. Fresh Axe, one of the guys, his name is the Jester. That's his cousin right there. Very, very funny guy. My wife is very hard to please as far as making her laugh. She was laughing all night. And so that was pretty cool to see. Before we pivot to anything else, do you guys have any closing remarks?
The Facebook crowd is quiet tonight.
Probably tired.
Because we did a show last week. Some of them probably didn't know we had a second one coming on. But it's recorded. They can go back to look at it. That's a good thing.
Yes.
And then I do have a couple of things to say. Are you ready for us to talk about what the next show is?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So in 2 weeks, it will be our next show. And we had one of our classmates call and talk with us and wanted to know if we would do a show on domestic violence, and we agreed to. So our next show will be about domestic violence and what that looks like.
Okay. And then I'll also like to add, because I want to talk about this too. So we are literally 4 weeks away from this event, guys. And so it's been a very collaborative effort in making this event happen. And so I want to thank everybody who has donated money. We're literally over $1,000. That's crazy to me. Not crazy that it happened, but I'm just amazed at the outpouring of support that we've had trying to get this thing done here. With people who I just least expected to donate. And shout out to a couple names because I don't have the list on me, but I think, Candace, you have the names. Go ahead.
I do have the list. Let me get my ledger out. You know how I am with my ledger.
Yeah, old school. She got that 1920s ledger, right?
It is not 1920s. I feel like I was given it in my from someone after I graduated with my master's. So why you over there throwing shots?
It's in the middle, my bad. It's in the middle.
Okay, so we have some people. We have actually a lot of people. So I want to say thank you to Kenny again. Candlin, Jill, Eddie, Amaru, obviously, Vernon, Janier, Jackie, Ronnie, Kenneth, Jacquees, Kevin, another Eddie, James B, Twan, and Al just sent some a little bit ago. So we've been getting donations. I know for a while it was kind of dry, but then during the week and over the weekend, a lot of people kind of sent in their donations. And I just really want to tell you guys that we are so grateful. I'm really saying thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this is not just for us, but it's for our community. And also people were asking about backpacks and school supplies. So that's another little tidbit that we are going to be adding in. And again, we're so appreciative. It could not happen without you guys. We are also putting in our money and funding it as well. I think it'll be a really good turnout. And I think it'll be a blessing to a lot of the kids. And I think it'll be a blessing to the community. So again, thank you so much.
And on top of that too, it's still an opportunity to give, right? Because we're still not at the deadline, right? We want to target mark. We're halfway there. The target mark that I wanted, we already exceeded already, right? Because I'm like, okay, so let's see.
Now we're shy. I think we're shy from the goal that you said. We're shy like $100.
Yeah, but we're typically there, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, so we want to make sure that
you have to add the inflationary. You have to add the inflationary costs to it.
Yeah, and so we do. Amari will say, "Hey, Candace, did we get anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so each time that it comes through Cash App, they're subtracting every time it dings, and I send it over. They're subtracting the amount, which we're still, we have so much gratitude. But yeah, inflation.
Yeah. But we're appreciative, and so like I said before, like I will be aggressively pursuing other people just to see what we can raise. It doesn't matter how much you send; just send something, because with the excess of the services that we're providing, the haircutting, the hairstylist, the DJ, and the food, whatever's left over, we're going to spend that on supplies. You understand what I'm saying? And so for the back to school,
the grass?
Go ahead.
Are you going to be the one mowing the grass?
Maybe. It may be. It may be. So I mean, and the cool thing about it is that we will give access to all of these receipts to make sure people understand what their money is being used for and what is being paid for. And so this is strictly for the people. It's a beautiful thing because it's showing Black people coming together for something constructive that, people said that could be done, right? We have these little silos. And so I wanted to do something. Well, I'm going to keep saying we wanted to do something for the neighborhood that we grew up in, and having these conversations about revolution, right? Because I love when Kenny uses that word. This is revolutionary to do something like this without major corporate sponsors. Obviously, you will want that, right? Because that'll be the great thing about it. But by doing it with the people's money, it's showing that we can get stuff done without them, right? And so I love the beautifulness behind this. So I am so ecstatic. And so, yes, I will be touching your inbox and say, hey, what can you give? If you can't give anything, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Show up, come grab a chair, pull up. We're going to have music there. Grab a chair. If you want to bring your liquor, make sure you dispose of the bottle after you drink the liquor, right? So
Amaru.
Because it's going to be a good time, and we want to make sure people are comfortable with their skin. So, yes.
And I just want to say this. When people actually send the donations, there are cheerful givers. They're excited about sending the money. You know how sometimes when people have to give, they're not excited about it, or they complaining about it, or find the reasons why. They're inboxing us about sending the donation. They're sending it, to Cash App. They're Zelling it, and they're excited about doing it. So when you have people like that that's on your team and they want to see you do well, they want to see the community do well, those are the people that I want to sit at with the table. I want them sitting at my table.
Yes. And
can you share the information again so the folks can see the Cash App and Zelle info?
Go ahead. My fault. There you go. And so you can. I'm probably gonna get Antoine, the other Antoine, to update this, to put the Zelle on there. But the Cash App is $Lashade16, LASHADE. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It's Lashade. Okay,
Lashade16 for Cash App. And again, 5, 10, 20, whatever. Because it all adds up. And is initially this was just a community cleanup, right? And so with the excess of the funds that we're getting, with people asking about back to school donations, and this will be back to school time, right? We just said, okay, let's just add to it. And so, this is a direct, just a response from the people. And so we are really excited about this. And so my wife will be there with the little ones. They may not stay long because my son, he cries when he gets around new people. So don't take it personal if he walks up to you and busts out crying, because that's just who he is. But I love him to death. But it should be a good time. So I'm very excited about that. But anything else you guys got?
I do. I would like to say this. I know oftentimes we go through good times and we go through bad times, but just remember that when you're going through a trying time, remember when people begin to depart from your life, so they begin to separate themselves. Remember, whatever God removes out of your life, He's going to give it back to you better than what you had before. So just remember, elevation requires separation. So keep that in mind.
Why you always coming up with all these juices, man? Always trying to speak volumes to people's hearts.
Because I just really want our people to know, people struggle sometimes with that. They feel like when they lose someone, they feel isolated. But that's okay, because when God get ready to take you somewhere, everybody can't go with you. And so sometimes friends and family have to move out of your way for you to get to your destiny.
Look at her. She's going to be a pastor one day. See, baby, like Jesus. Look, getting started. Look at you. But no, with all that, you guys, we'll give you time because we actually finished a little early, which is rare for us, right? For the last couple of weeks, right? 1:15. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Bye. Thanks, guys.